So I know that Jordan said, well, it got back to Bree that he said that she wasn't doing anything with her life, but was it a lie? Was it a
No,
lie?
he was right. Girl, you came to
didn't
LA
say
and
that.
went to Trader Joe's and got some butter. Get out of my face. You ain't on my level, sis. You ain't on my level, sis.
I can't hate on her because she's doing the HR thing.
He could have told her that though. What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's us again. It's time to lean in, bitch, for Sweet Life Los Angeles on HBO Max. I'm back with Kirsty and Asia. I didn't put a jacket on. She didn't put a jacket on.
Hey.
No jacket, but you know what? Kirsty did. I don't know if y'all saw Kirsty last year. Kirsty had that light in her face, and she was giving a look Kim. That light is gone.
Whatever.
That
glow.
It was a glow. It was a glow.
It was a glow.
We just finished talking about episodes 1 through 3. We're here to talk about episodes 4 through 6. And we pick up, let's go right into it. We pick up basically after the Cabo trip. Of course, not Cabo, sorry. The Palm Springs trip. So they didn't get that yet. This is where the Miami and Becky and PJ, Jordan and Bree. And this episode 4, like, it was a lot about Jordan. Basically the aftermath between Jordan and Bree, and because there was a point, and I don't even know if it was while they were in Mexico. In Palm Springs, where I think she was trying to talk to him, and he was just like, "Nah, I'm good." Was that in Cabo? Or
no,
Palm Springs.
That was not. That hasn't happened yet.
It ain't happened yet. Okay, but
that has not happened yet.
I just put down he trash because
he was trash. He was trash because he was having a good time with her, flirting with her, and in the middle of that, he stopped it, text her like, "Let's stop the PDA," and it was just like, "Baby boy, this on you, baby Drake. I'm not doing this. I'm following your lead."
She's following his lead, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Whoa," and it's just like, "Okay, whoa," but we was vibing.
Don't
he killed the vibe,
right?
Like he killed the vibes on him.
Hella killed the vibe.
Well, in this episode, she finds out that allegedly he said that she don't have nothing going for herself. Basically, the guys were talking, and I guess Ty was talking to, Ty's boyfriend and the group, whatever the guys do, as if I ain't no guy. But whatever the guys do, whatever they do, I'm one of the goods.
Being more gossipy than the girls, if we're being honest. Because in that scene. In that scene, Gerald was like, I feel like in that scene at the gym, Gerald was being messy because he was pretty much saying like, "I don't like Bree," and trying to leave it at that. Gerald was like, "Well, what if she like had her own business?" Or PJ, one of them was like, "Oh yeah," PJ was like, "Well, what if she had her own business?" Peanut Butter Jelly Time said, "Well, my girl Becky with the good hair got her own shit going on. So would you prefer somebody who got their own shit going on?" And where I was okay with what Jordan said, he was like, "Oh, yeah, that'd be dope. Maybe it would be different if I was with somebody who did have that, have something else going on, who wasn't as, didn't have as much time." So I give Baby Drake a pass for that because he was like fed that and he still didn't even say nothing too negative, but we knew what he meant.
Yeah, I mean, but she took it and she reacted really fast. She texted him and was like, "Oh wow, this how you feel, bro? Oh man, what's up, bro? Dang, what's up? Don't be what's up." I was like, "Okay, girl." It was funny reading the text message. Like,
yes.
But she was very like, "Oh, bro, that's how you feel. That's mad messed up, yo."
Yeah.
I'm like,
"Girl, you from LA, Detroit, New York? Where's you from, sis?"
I didn't know where she was from. I didn't know she was. I thought a little New York, little LA, Midwest. I was like, "Girl, where is you?"
She be traveling.
He basically was like, "What are you talking about?" And she says it. And it's just kind of like how information gets passed around and it's always messed up by the time it gets to the person. Right. And I think honestly, Ty is kind of responsible for what you find out for it. Not that she had the intention, but she also has tried to get Bree to stop liking Jordan for a long time. She really feels like that's not the move. So of course she couldn't kind of wait to relay the information.
You can't share your pillow talk though, girl.
That's true.
Right?
She kind of put her boyfriend in a bad
She
place.
did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
So because it could have went really left, because it's like that information came from where obviously him. And those are guys talking, and it's good that he even talked to her like that, but you can't be going back and doing that time. Now, I did not agree with that. I'm sorry, I don't agree with everything. I didn't agree with that.
Don't be sharing pillow talk, girl.
Yeah. But Jordan, we found out that Jordan basically has this talk with his mom. His mom is very hip. Okay, I thought that was her sister because she be talking like they is like brother and sister. But basically, he breaks down and is like saying that he's just not ready for a relationship. And it comes down to that. So how y'all feel about that? Because early it was she needs some biz, she needs some going for herself. But now it's more so I'm just not really ready. I got a lot going on with my business. Like, what were y'all thoughts on that?
He just want to smash her. Yeah, like
period.
Right.
She is smash and pass, and he don't want to hurt her feelings by saying that. I think that's what it is, and nobody's gonna say it on TV. But if we be honest, like he does need somebody who got shit going on, who can challenge him, and like who ain't so starry-eyed when she see him, and that's just what he needs.
Well, that's his type of guy does need that. I agree.
Like Bree want to do that, pay her rent and stuff like that, which is fine, which is great, but you dipping in the wrong pool of niggas. This not the pool of niggas to dip in. These are the richness. These the broke rich niggas. You need to go on to another side, another pool. If that's the stuff that you want, you can get it, but you got to know where to swim at, sis.
Yeah.
And Jordan ain't it.
I agree.
Yeah.
What you think?
Kudos.
I think that Jordan don't really know what he wants, and I think that he is content with just casually flirting with Bree and like enjoying like the attention and keeping it like that. But Bree has a lot of like energy, like it's very forward and he's right. Like she brings up like she makes you have a lot of emotions that you might not necessarily want to have, and so but I don't think that he's mastered a way to like balance that, like be able to flirt with her and still do his own thing and still like do the guy stuff. And because in a friend group, it makes it even more complicated because at the end of the day, they're all friends. They all kick it together. Yeah. So like if they like fall out, then the whole friend group fall out. So I think that Ty is right on this one. I think that they just kind of need to chill. Just need to chill a little bit. I think if they were a little bit more mature, they'd be able to handle like the casual flirting. But they're not. I don't think they're yet.
No,
that's a good point you mentioned. It's sticky when you try to talk to somebody in your friend circle, like because at that point, like as a person, like I don't believe in doing that. If I continue to consider you a friend, I'm not going to be looking at you any kind of way. Like we're not going to play like that. You know what I'm saying? But if I look at you, if you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird. Like I get their dynamic because they have a history, but that just kind of makes me look at the whole circle as it's not really like some of them are friends, but some of them have other motives. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, Becky and Bree got their own motive.
And
I know some people like them.
What it looks like to me, it was like Thailand brought in a few people, and then Gerald brought in a few people, and then that's how Jordan. No, Gerald. I think it was Gerald because Thailand and Gerald were the ones who knew each other in high school.
Oh,
from what they said, they knew each other in high school. And so she said, like Thailand always knew who Cheryl was, but she never paid her any attention.
Okay, that's true.
Because Gerald brought in. Who did Gerald bring in?
I guess the Wood. I guess that's what the Wood is. I guess Gerald and the Wood is the guy. So I think he brought the guys in, like. And then she brought in the girls, like her little friend group. So that's what it seems like to me. Because overall, they don't all seem like they've been friends forever. Because I know my guy friends are. They might be attractive in real life, but I don't want them. I ain't.
Yeah.
But you know what? A lot of guys hang around girls like as friends, just waiting on their chance to kind of like move in. A lot of guys do that.
That's true.
I haven't.
It can be sticky, you know what I'm saying? I guess I'm speaking from a gay male, like, we're around a lot of guys, but honestly, it's not even a sex thing. It's just it's just a person thing. Some people like that kind of stuff. You know, some folks like to go ahead and freak on their friends, and then they be waking up the next morning and be like, "Girl, last night was crazy," and I be like, that's no. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't want to look at you that way. We're not gonna even kiss on the lip.
Like, I couldn't ever look at my friends like that. I can't.
If I consider you a friend now, if you like a friend, you know.
Well, that's what Brie and Becky think they are, friends, and everybody else is just friends.
Yeah, they the only friends. Everybody else is fair game. Okay.
Period.
That's what it is. And then so they have a legacy. They have like a legacy table event. I think this is another event that Ty puts together. I don't actually remember the event honestly because I kind of was like
legacy table.
I think I was flying.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But do y'all remember anything about the actual event before we talk about what happened afterwards?
Yes.
They called her. Go ahead, Asia.
Oh, so they called her dad. It was like pretty much she was trying to set everybody up for success by placing people where they needed to go to like network with other people because she felt like those are the things that her dad didn't have, and that's why he ended up in prison. So it was dedicated to her father. Okay.
I remember her speaking about the success of the event on the next episodes, I believe, but I don't remember the actual event because, like I said, I was drunk at this point. I was on my way to Mexico last week, so I don't really remember it.
That's when Bree went up to Jordan, and he was like, "Nah, we ain't got to talk."
Yeah, I remember. So yeah, I didn't like that. How did y'all feel about that?
Which part?
When she went up to him to talk to him, he was like, "Nah, I'm good." She should have did it.
She at the party.
Yeah, he was talking to somebody. Like he was talking to somebody, and she walked up on him, and he was like, "No."
Well, I just think she shouldn't did it because he's just like, but that's how she is. But it just further made her look like, I wanted to feel bad for her, but I really don't because I know you got some ways that I can't really feel bad for. But should he have talked to her? No. It's not like Asia said.
No, he was talking to someone else.
Give me a minute, like, hold on, like, give me a minute. Let me finish this conversation. I think at some later point in the evening, he could have been like, oh, what do you want to talk about? Or like maybe afterwards or something. But I mean, also you have to respect people's boundaries. Like if they don't want to like open up a conversation that they know is not going to go well. Yeah. I'm gonna just flat out say no, and you have to respect that. So it is what it is. Once you approach somebody and ask them something, you have to be prepared for them to say no.
So I do not set myself up for shit like that. I'm sorry. Okay. Nope. Because you pretty much let him clown you twice. Is what is pretty much what happened. You set yourself up to be clowned. 2 times.
Yeah.
I agree. It just wasn't a good look, but I mean, the type of people they are is the perfect little interaction. Like that's him and that's her, and they both need to be with somebody else.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It should have been the reverse. He should have been coming to her.
Yeah,
but the fact that she was going to him, it was like this is not meant to be.
And that happened to me. That happens a couple of times on this show where things should have been reversed, but
very much so.
Oh, I can't wait. So. Yeah,
right. So then after that pretty much ends episode 4. She's upset or whatever. In the second episode, we find out that how the information got to Ty, obviously from her boyfriend, which we knew about that. But it sounds like Ty kind of added her own little flavor to it because
she added hot sauce.
She added hot sauce because she didn't even say that. Apparently, it wasn't said that she don't have nothing going on. I can't think of exact words, but she in her head made it that way, and so it got back to her. And so then, at this point, her boyfriend looking like, well, damn, now I got to talk to this dude. I hope ain't no issues. And I'm like, oh, I hope it's an issue because that's but I was like, oh, it's getting good.
Right.
It didn't get good. But a big portion of this, we haven't really talked about Gerald, but Gerald main storyline is with Cheryl, but it's more so him and Cheryl moving in together.
No, him moving in with
Cheryl. He's moving in with Cheryl. That is it.
That's a difference. That's a big difference.
Very important.
That is very true. And my thoughts on that, and I'm gonna let y'all have the floor, is that 8 years to move in, it's gonna be 10 more to get married. I'm sorry. He was acting like him moving in with this girl was him getting married. Like like he had to make an announcement and stuff like that. He's talking to his dad about it, like he getting his dad blessings. And I'm just like, boy,
it ain't gonna work.
You need to get it. I'm just looking like, Gerald, you are a cool guy, but you need to get your shit together.
You gotta get your shit together.
Go ahead, Christy. I know you got a lot to say. What's your thoughts on that?
Can you tell?
Yeah.
I feel like with Gerald, number one, the fact that he's moving in with her says a lot. And the fact that he is so conflicted on it and already is like making it such a big deal. And then it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna make this big decision. Or like, I'm going to move in with her. Like, it's cringy for me, honestly. It's
she
cringy.
Don't like me no more.
And seeing Cheryl, like Cheryl is bomb. Like she don't need no man to move in with her. Like she don't need a guy to like, be begging, like on the fence about whether he wants to do this or not. And I think that I don't know if he can. I honestly don't know if he can handle Cheryl, and I don't know if he is what Cheryl actually wants. I'll just say that.
Boom.
I think with this, honestly, she is like head over heels for him. Obviously, she's excited, but it's just like, is it because of the amount of time they put in? Because it's like when you look at the quality of Gerald, it's not it. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta decide that long, you know what I'm saying, to move in, like me and my boyfriend, we just moved in together, and it was just like, my thing is like that's like a step in the relationship. Like you date, and then you have a little sex, see if that's good. Then you do the relationship thing, see if that's good. Then you move in, see if that's good. So you get a dog. You do all these things to, it's a process. And so they've been together 8 years. These folks
has it been 8?
8 years, and I get that they started young, but at the same time, 8 years of a relationship, like it should not. And she has her own place. Why are you still living with your parents like that? Like it's nothing. It's It's not even a parents thing. No, it's the parents thing. It's the damn parents thing. It's the parents thing, and the fact that you don't have a desire to want to move out of your parents' house. It's forcing you. Like that is a sign, and that is alarming. I would hope that Cheryl, looks at that. They're very happy on Instagram, but it's just like,
to be honest, like I would hope that him seeing Cheryl having her own place would encourage him to get his own place. I feel like that would be the next
That's
step.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let me get a place where I can build a home where she would want to move in with me. Not the other way around.
That's why I think he is not at a place to be with Cheryl. He needs to go be with somebody like Bree, somebody that ain't got much, ain't got nothing going on, so they can not have much together. But
get excited real quick.
It's just like
Cheryl doing it.
She is.
And I kind of want to see Cheryl single.
Yeah.
I would like to see a storyline of Cheryl single.
It seems like he kind of holds her back from like her little. He kind of put
living her life. I want to see more C Nasty.
Exactly.
C Nasty need to spread her wings, and he don't know how to control C Nasty. I can see that.
Spread them legs. Spread them wings.
Anytime your spouse has to tell you like, no,
he don't know how to handle
I want to do my own thing. Like she did that with the ATVs. Like, no, I'm gonna have fun. We can cuddle later.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talk about zodiacs, but I was listening to what Miami said. Miami was a Sagittarius, and she said Cheryl was a Sagittarius. Sagittarius like freedom. Cheryl need to spread her wings, and I'm like, that ain't. I don't know if that's gonna last.
Yeah,
it's It's lasted 10 years at this point. However, no,
I mean,
8 years. But my thing is, you're not moving into my house. You just not. You're not moving into my house. You can get a house, and I'm moving to that. Oh, we can get a house together, but you're not moving in my place. You're not. You're not going to do it. Grow up, sir. Grow up, because he's a little bitch. Like, I'm just gonna say. Gerald is a little bitch. And I can't. He's so tall.
I think he's so attractive. I think he's so cool and nice. Handsome, the fact that he's making that it's such a hard thing to do.
Little
like
punk
you should
ass.
be. Maybe it's the principle of him having to pay rent, because they talked about that they're going to split rent, which is another conversation that comes up in the next episode between the other girls. But they're going to split rent.
I think that's the only reason she really want him to move in.
Well, no, I think that's the only reason why he don't want to. That's probably the reason why he don't want to.
If he needs to grow up. He needs to grow up, pay his own rent first.
He's from California. Absolutely. He still lives with his parents.
How old is he?
He got to be 25, 26.
I will say, I don't think the issue is him living with his parents, because I'm an advocate for not moving out too soon if you don't have to. But I think if you're masquerading as like an adult and you're masquerading as like you have a partner and like you guys are thinking about the next step,
this long,
you need to get your own place.
Well, I'm saying it's been 8 years, so Kirsty, like honestly, like
that's a long time.
It ain't like that they just got together a year ago. He's like, okay, it's been 8 years and they started young, but it's just like, I mean,
yeah, maybe Tylene been with her dude for a year. They moved in after a year and a half. That sounds about right. Like if you don't know after a year and a half, I mean, if you don't know a whole lease agreement, if you want to be with me or not, bye. You got 12 to 15 months to figure it out.
Why do you think people why do y'all think like people are so hesitant to move in with their partners? What are some of the reasons?
I personally would never have anybody move in with me ever again in my life.
I don't know. She said she ain't never had nobody move in with her.
I wouldn't move in. I said I would never have anybody, like at this stage, I would never have anybody move in with me. I would be more than happy to move in with somebody else, but like in the stage of my life, I wouldn't want anybody to move in with me.
Well, I'm not really thinking of the semantics of like somebody moving in with. I'm talking about like y'all basically, whether it's you coming to him and him coming to you, or y'all getting a place together. Like, why do you think people are so hesitant, or with Gerald to move in? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't even think it's the move in part. Like, yes, that's what's happening, but it's just probably easier for him because hell, if he been living with his parents, he ain't got no rental history. So what he gonna do? He can't go get his own place.
I will say, okay, when I can only speak from my experience, I could see being hesitant to move in with somebody else because when you have been lived on your own for so long, you're used to being able to turn off like a part of you that's reserved for like other people, right? Mm-hmm. So like when you go home, like you can unwind, you can be yourself, you're by yourself, you don't have to communicate. When you move into somebody, like that's the commitment part of it that it's kind of like an unknown. How am I going to deal?
Yeah, that's not his story.
He been living with
he been in the back room jacking off with his mom in the other room. So,
he go to Cheryl's house when he wants.
He's not used to privacy. He's not used to sitting on his couch and doing whatever you want to do naked. He can't do that. He ain't did that ever.
That's fair. You know what? That's true. That's true.
But my thing is this: like whenever I start dating somebody. I don't got that no more because I'm married. But whenever I start dating somebody, like I don't even let them spend a lot of time at my house and be spending the night at my house and stuff. No, you not about. This is my house. This is my rent. I pay. You pay your rent. We do this every once in a while, but you're not like fake moving in with my shit. Also, I know somebody, and I be talking so much shit. I ain't even gonna lie. This dude, he about 37, 38, still living with his parents, and he be over his girlfriend's house all the time. He done moved in without paying rent, and I'm like, yeah, you gotta watch that because he moving in, and he's technically moved in without saying he moved in, and he's not paying anything. And I really think that's what Gerald was doing, and I think that's what Cheryl's like. You gonna be over here all the time. You gotta start chipping in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it makes people level up to a point in their life that they might not be ready for. Like if Gerald is moving out of his parents' home, like you're not a child anymore. Like you have nobody in the house taking care of you. You have to take care of yourself. Like you're stepping into a whole new like manhood. So maybe he's intimidated by that.
Grow up, Gerald.
I agree.
Period. So, it's easy.
While on the topic of like houses, so Amanda in this episode, I guess she buys a house. I don't know if it's fixer upper. I don't know what's going on with that house. But she bought a house. And she's having a little housewarming situation, and she basically tricked them into like painting.
Was that a housewarming?
Oh,
that's what she called it. That's what she called it, a housewarming.
Usually, your housewarming, your house is together, and you're showing it off.
That's true, but you got to remember the age.
I bought my first house when I was 23 years old. It was done. I didn't have nobody in my house till it was.
You know what?
You said, "Well, you're not the norm, sweetheart."
Okay.
That's not the norm.
You are exceptionally.
You're the exception to the rule.
I knew what a house was.
I see both sides because, like, I mean, it's like, first, let's look at it. When I graduated, I started working right 2 weeks after I graduated. Some folks don't have that luxury. So as far as like her, like getting a house at that age, that's pretty damn good. And most people look at that as like, oh, I got my own thing. So it's really, maybe she shouldn't have called it a house one. Maybe just called it like a celebration. I got a home, but I think she was just excited.
Called it a painting party.
Well, you know, she called it the day when it showed up. I've seen
a painting party.
She did. She told him it was fine.
Well, she told him it afterwards. She told them because remember she gave them a little outfit.
Oh yeah, she gave them the outfit.
She didn't tell them beforehand, at least not on the camera, you know. But in the end of this episode, this is where Bree and Jordan have their talk at the park. And the conversation just kind of went like this. I mean, you said that I wasn't nothing, or I ain't have much going on. I didn't say that. You know, I wouldn't say nothing like that. How would I know? You don't treat me too good. And I'm just like, what is going on in this part? That's basically what I heard from it. What did y'all get from the conversation? That they had
nothing.
Right. Kirsty.
I mean, the same. I honestly don't really know what to make of their relationship. It just seemed like Jordan don't know what he wants, and Bree is she doesn't really exactly know. She just knows that she wants to be around him and she wants to be able to flirt with him. And I think Bree is also a firecracker, so she gonna tell him what's on her mind. But as far as like what like they're aiming for, they don't know. They don't know what they want.
I do like that she said that, you know what, let's just be friends before it gets to a point to where I don't want to talk to you at all. Yeah. And that's real. I like that she did that. Whether she stands in it or not, you know, for all we know, Bree could be over there having sex with Jordan right now while we're recording. Who knows? But at the same time, I like it. If she truly stands in it, I will be happy for her because that's a good place to be, especially in a friend circle, because if they were to really fall out, the group would suffer as well. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it would happen because Bree is like they home girl and Jordan is like their homeboy.
The homie,
you know,
everybody would take sides.
Yeah, right. Have y'all ever been in a friend circle where there's like something happened and basically like it kind of dismantled because of people take sides?
Every single friend circle I've had.
Oh, not every. How many?
Not all of them.
Well, you got to remember I moved.
Yeah, that's true.
I was in Chicago and had a whole friend circle up there, and in Houston. Whole friend circle, and it happened both times. Luckily, I was smart enough not to fuck nobody.
There you go. You gotta be smart.
Bree, learn from the lunchbox. Okay,
come on,
learn.
No, because even if you like kind of get to that point where you want to like be with somebody in the friend group, in the back of my head, I'll always be like, but what if he go talk back and embarrass me, or what if he like mess with somebody else in the group? And that's just, to me, like that would mess with my head too much. Too much mental gymnastics. I'm like, I'd rather just have you as a homie. I kind of like your personality anyway. That's it. So you know what? Let me just keep it here.
Yeah.
I've never had that. I'm kind of like you, Asia. I kind of naturally just navigate to the guys as a homie. Like I see everybody as a homie first, which is like is my problem sometimes. Yeah, but I'm always like, I just want to have a good time. Like I just want to make sure we can chat, we can talk about like music, whatever, like real life, that stuff that's going on. And then it always takes me like, I keep it platonic. I try to.
A lot of women don't realize like it's a benefit to have masculine energy in your life without having it be romantic. Yeah. There's a lot of benefits to having masculinity from any man in your life, and the opposite. It's great to have feminine energy in your life that's platonic. You can benefit
that you
from
don't
it,
have
but
to throw like feelings into it all the time.
Yeah, I could think somebody's attractive, and I could like their energy and want to be around it, but not want to be with them. A lot of people don't know how to separate. Oh, I think he's attractive and I think he's cool, but I don't like him like that. And I think that's what not what Bree is going through, but I think that's what Jordan is going through.
Right. He's like, she's attractive. I like her. I vibe with her, but
no, I think they both.
He doesn't know the line.
They both are going through. I mean, she didn't initiate it, but just because she didn't initiate it, don't mean she didn't engage. Because if she felt that way,
engaged.
If she felt that way, she would definitely have been like, it's cool. Like no, let's not. But no, so she went right on in there, spread the legs, right.
I want her to not talk about raw sex on like the first meet and greet with some guy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this was. I
want her to not do that.
This is the date. This is the date.
Can we talk about Cameron? Her and Cameron.
What date? No, that wasn't Cameron. No,
that was in Cabo or in Mexico.
That was in Mexico.
No, the date that she had with that guy, whatever
it
was.
Yeah.
Did
you not see all the red flags on that date? He was like, the red flags is happening right before his eyes. He was like, whoa.
And she thinks that's what I'm saying. She thinks she was doing it and dissing him and turning him off. I'm like, girl, you don't realize that he was looking at you like
this girl crazy.
It was at one point in a conversation, he was like, oh shit, she crazy. He was like, so what else? Like, keep going. So I know
that's crazy. I hate that for her. That's dangerous for her, and I want her to like just go back to realize
dangerous for her.
She does not have the sauce. I'm sorry. She needs to let her have the sauce.
Sometimes when people start talking about like so everybody's not into like zodiac signs, right? So she started like talking about zodiac signs and diving deep. He was like, how did we get here? Then
she's just one of the girls that just gives so much.
Yeah, zodiac signs.
I just want her to reel it back like a little bit. Just reel it back like a little bit. Like just
she said she was like, so if I move in, what's gonna happen? He was like, you moving in?
Right, you gonna pay rent?
Like, can I? Whoa. She was like, can I? He was like, hell no.
Right.
No, sis, what is wrong with you?
It is interesting to see. I think more than anything, I really enjoy seeing like the guy's reaction to it. Because most of the time, you get to see like the dilemma, like because girls we talk a lot, like we talk about, oh, he was this, he was that. But it's also good to see like guys how they react in the situation. So.
Yeah, I think the thing that I do like about what's going on with Brie is when she gets a little bit older, she gonna look back and be like, damn, I was wild and I had fun though. Like, I'm glad I got that shit out the way. Like,
true.
It's a good thing that she's doing this now at that age, because I feel like a lot of us have went
everybody.
Yeah, of course.
You be drunk and just rambling. Like, girl, you look.
And you think you think like you on like so you have brown set like, damn girl, like it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
That's y'all.
I agree. I completely agree with Brie. And like we've all been there. This is not me standing on my.
But it's good TV.
It is good TV, and she has definitely made a name for herself. In the next episode, they go to Cabo for Ty's birthday, and this is where I really started to see my damn self, because I'm like, oh, she's taking a trip to Cabo. She got 23 friends. Now I ain't never been on no private jet, but I do fly close to first class sometimes.
When I'm on Southwest and I check in between 8:15, I'll be
Yeah. And they basically on the trip, like it's like a whole damn zoo. Amanda, is it Amanda? No, Amanda's boyfriend didn't come, so she was upset about that. Right. And I get it. I know they're young, but she was just like, this is a trip of a lifetime. And I'm just like, you can just always go back. It's right there. I mean, I'm just saying, y'all can just go back as a couple. But I get what she's saying. She wanted her man there. It seems like they do a lot couples wise anyway.
Yeah.
Like not that they're glued at the hip, but all of the friend circles all the friends that are in relationships, they're typically with their partners the most. Minus Ty. I feel like Ty probably is with her man the least. In terms of when they're filming, because he's not really filming anyway. But in this conversation, like on the trip, like the trip was cool. The house is nice. The beach, all that was cool that they had. And it just seems like Ty really brought a lot of people together. She had a crazy non-close friend. And it's funny because right before this episode came on, I was thinking like, I know that these girls are not like Ty's like best friends. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to know who are they. And then we get this episode and you see what's the friend name, Candace and stuff like that. You say, okay,
these are Candace, Robin, and Ashley.
These are the girls that she hang with, like for real, when they're not filming. That's
in
what
real life. Yeah,
real life.
Right,
she hangs with Amanda though. She does hang with Amanda.
Yeah. But
So
Bree and Becky, nah,
they be around, but them not. Them cast
they're
members.
not her core friends.
Yeah.
What did y'all think about so this is where the conversation happens with Bree and Becky and Amanda talking about. So this is what Bree is just like, look, was it Amanda?
Yeah, it was Amanda.
Basically, Bree was talking about her date. And this, she was just like, I like to text niggas and I don't text back no more. You know what I'm saying? They text me, I don't text back no more. And then Rebecca was like, yeah, you got that nigga energy. And basically, she reveals that she is trying. She she does not want to split rent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
So y'all think you agree that basically it's okay to have the expectation for a man to pay out the rent, or is it okay for the woman and the man to split the rent?
It's okay to do what you want. So what we finally see with Bree is her figuring at least one thing out that she actually wants. Like, so good for her. But once again, you in the wrong pool of niggas. Like, these men, not the ones that they want to split rent. And so you dipping in your little broke ass friend circle ain't gonna work. I don't care how much money Jordan gave. This is not what is, but good for you for knowing, like, I want to be taken care of. I don't want to pay rent, because if I paid rent or split rent, I would just go live with my homegirl and not live up under like your rules or us having to figure shit out. I would just live, split rent with my homegirl. Living with you, you need to take care of me. I get that. And it's okay. If Cheryl want to split rent with her man, good for them. Yeah. It's okay to figure out what you want to do in your life. It's okay to figure out what you actually want.
Yeah.
You can't force that on nobody else. You can't force that on no dude though.
No, you can't force
it
on anybody.
That's what I think the issue is. Go ahead, Kirsty.
Yeah, I was just going to agree. I don't think you can force it on anybody, and I think that it's easier said than done. I just think the man should pay for the rent. Well, let's assess, your age. Let's assess like the guy, like you said, your dating pool. Let's assess like all the people you're coming in contact with. Most likely, they're coming up with you. You're not dating 35 plus, you're not dating 45 plus, you're dating 25, 26. So obviously it's a different mindset that you have to just be aware of. But I'm gonna be honest, like I'm also the type of person who I kind of agree, like if that's the kind of guy that you want, if you know that you want your man to be a provider, then that's good for you. But I think there's other ways in saying that. You don't have to just go flat out and be like, I just think that rent should be split. You can say that I really want a man that is a provider, a man that wants to take care of the household. You can find different ways to say that to where it doesn't put like all your potentials on the defense and feel like you're just there for like, for what you can do, what they can do for you.
She a bird though.
Well, it's just the way it's the thing of her trying to put like. It seems like anybody she talks to, she's going to make that be the expectation. Yeah. And sometimes you're not given that kind of person, like you said, in general. So personally, as a person like myself, whereas I wouldn't mind somebody, paying my rent completely. Same time, I'm not that kind of person. Like I like to show what I can put on the table too. And you know what I'm saying? I am a man at the same time, but I mean, in gay relationships, child, you have these roles. And I feel like typically the role that I play will be more of the housewife, but I don't want to be no fucking housewife. I'm gonna pay half the rent. I'm gonna do just as much because it's just embedded in me. Bree is not that kind of person, and so I can't push it off on her. So I don't think it's an issue with that. But she is very alarming because it's like that guy comes with control. Sometimes it comes with a lot of things that you get. It's not always just, oh, this man taking care of me. He's gonna to some men they own you, and
not some.
She's the wrong person to be in that kind of relationship. She needs to really reassess because it goes back to what Jordan says about her not having nothing going on. She brings nothing to the pot other than a pretty face and the thing. I'm just saying she doesn't bring
and some groceries to make butter.
Right, she doesn't really bring much. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like she needs to bring more to the table. Because right now,
I mean, she yes and no. She doesn't if she go find somebody who don't care. Like the
you can find her little African. Find her little African. But they real controlling. So I don't know.
But it's just like, girl, figure. Good thing you figured that out. Now go off, fly off, and
get
find
out of this
somebody like that.
But that, also too, it's like you can. No, and I'm like you. Like you can say that you want like somebody to take care of you and pay your bills, but also too, you can also, take the pros and the cons with the man. If the right man comes along and he's not fully financially stable, you're gonna make some sacrifices. Like you're gonna be like, okay, well, let's come to a compromise. Let's figure out how we can make this partnership work. Ideally, I would want the rent to be paid for, but like until we get to that point, like we're still gonna go and stuff. So she just has to be open.
She needs to just let him man. And when I say that, like let him do that. Don't make that be like the focal point of the conversation, to where it's like, because nobody wants to feel like they have to like I'm sure you enjoy it a lot better if he's doing it without you having to say
it. Exactly.
And so that's with anything.
What threw me off was Amanda heard it and she was like, she kind of got an idea in her, like, oh. So she brought it up to her dude and he was like, yeah, girl, let's not go down that path. Like when she was on the phone.
I don't. Their relationship it's not weird. I like her boyfriend for her, but he's a little quiet. He's kind of quiet.
He said like at some point, like that's what you need to figure out. When they were even talking about moving in and stuff, he was like, you need to figure out what you want, and then I'll see where I fit into that, because he's like, I'm not going to be overbearing with you, and you don't even know where you are in life or what you want yet. So I'm going to sit and wait until you know if you want me to move in or not. And so when she brought that rent stuff up, he was like, nah, we both gonna have to contribute. We got to meet somewhere. Which I get. But I was like, Amanda, don't bird like Bree.
Right. Don't be out here trying to be. Don't be out here with a. Don't let her hype you up.
Let her have that. Right. You're gonna be mad.
When you try to bring somebody else shit in your shit, because you think, oh, that's
real. Like you need to,
don't try to be like her.
Because that girl is over there single as a
Pringle. Okay.
Single as a Pringle.
Single. Like there's nothing going on over there.
So I thought she went on so many dates. I thought this was for the love of Bree. Okay.
I know, right?
It is the love of Bree.
Out here thotting and bopping.
You saw her, y'all see her skincare line photo shoot thing. I wish the skincare would have been in a bottle that had a logo or something on it, but I'm like, what is she actually? She didn't went to Kiehl's or Lush and put something in there. And I was like, Bree, this is kind of weird, actually. It's kind of weird.
She went to Trader Joe's and got groceries and churned some butter together.
Yeah.
That's it.
Rub it in. I'm like, girl, y'all, that is margarine, honey. Don't put that on you.
Butter by Bree. No, I'm not buying that. And Jordan was right. Like, let's just be honest. Jordan, at the end of the day, Jordan was right. He just was right.
I mean, she just needs some time. I mean, my feelings would be hurt if I heard somebody say that too. Like, she ain't got nothing going for her. Like, that would hurt my feelings, especially if you know that you trend. But like, she just needs some time to figure out what she wants to do and like get her foot in it. But I think that she can't have. She got her foot. She has her hands in a lot of things. Like you out here dating, you trying to like secure, you thotting and bopping, and like you doing the skincare line, and like, but you don't want to do the marketing. You doing a lot, and like you need to figure out what you want to prioritize.
You want your rent paid, but you want to be a boss.
Yeah. It's all over the place.
Well, in the later part of the episode, they do a tequila tasting, and it's crazy. I just thought about it. I didn't even finish the last like few minutes of the episode, but I'll tell you where I got to, and you guys can help me get to the end of it. Okay. So they had the tequila tasting, huh?
You missed it then. Okay, go ahead.
I know. You got to tell. I'm about to. Because I stopped it and I thought I finished, but I realized as I remember, I see where my ... is, and I didn't finish my note. But this is where they did tequila tasting, and Candace and Kaylin, whatever his name is, her closer friends were late. They were late to the first thing. I was like, okay, I agree. They should be late. Because I feel like my thing is when it comes to people being late, it's sometimes some folks don't understand, you know what I'm saying? And I think for a birthday, like Jordan said, you know what I'm saying, like we're here to celebrate. Like the least you can do is be on time for something. I get things happen, but when you constantly late, it gets to be an issue. And the first time she let it pass, the second time, not only were they late, but they was late and loud. Another pet peeve of mine.
And underdressed.
But what happened after that? Because I stopped it literally right when she was about to, like, it's like she was getting upset. She was about to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Asia.
What happened?
Because you know, I know.
I know you know.
So it's kind of on right now too. So she take like her demeanor changes. Thailand's demeanor changes, and she's kind of talking to her friends. Like she's talking to Amanda, Ashley, and Robin. Like she's selfish. Like she's coming out here in a bikini and all this other stuff. And so Candace comes up to her and like, "What's wrong?" And she was like, "Girl, nothing." You can tell that Ty doesn't want to embarrass her on TV in front of cameras because she loves her, she cares about her, but she's over her, and they have like issues in the background that are coming to light, and it kind of shows some flashback stuff. And pretty much Candace and her have kind of been on the outs as friends, and she's creating boundaries and slowly but surely giving them to Candace. So Candace, is her name Candace or something?
It's Candace.
I think so, yeah.
Candace. So Candace is like, I'm about to just go change for you, boo. And she drunk and try to kiss her in the mouth and all that other shit.
She tried to kiss her again? I saw her.
Maybe not.
Maybe was kissing on her. Yeah, she was kissing.
She was kissing on her again.
Because she was drunk and she was like, "I love you, Ty. It's your birthday." And she's like, drunk. And then Ty
she was like, "You can't change up on me." Then Tylene is like, "Oh my gosh!" She starts crying. She goes up to her room. I guess the girl goes to actually put some clothes on. She's like a little kid with a little red outfit. She's cute. And she's drunk. She started going off on the camera people. Like, no, get out of her face. Get out of her
missed
face.
the Cortez.
And the producer was, And the producer was like, like she
don't talk to my crew like that. Yeah.
Don't be cussing at my crew. And so they all trying to get Candace to calm down. And she's going back and forth with Thailand. And Thailand is like, I do not want to talk about this right now. Chill. And she was like, we can't talk if you're just gonna go blah 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 and just be doing too much.
Yeah.
And Thailand started crying again because that's how she expresses her emotions.
Man, Thailand
starts crying again. And Candace just run down. She's like, "You're not listening to me." And then she kind of sober up a little bit because she see her friends are mad and she stormed off. And then it's Ashley, Robin, Amanda, and her boyfriend, just like. And he pretty much is saying like sometimes you grow out of people, and I think that's what's happening.
Oh yeah,
and then that's kind of where the episode ends. Of her just sad. She's like, you know what, fuck it, it's my birthday. I'm here to have a good time. She eventually goes back off and has a good time, but you can tell that relationship is kind of done, and she was trying to avoid that situation.
Well, they kind of hinted at it earlier, like she was like, you know, Candace and Caitlin, they be on their own little thing, they be all lit and stuff like that. And I'm just like, that's annoying. Like I didn't watch it, but I knew it was about to go left in some ways because I was like, she was late twice, and it's just like that's just a mess. Like it's her birthday.
We find out that Candace's boyfriend and Tylen's boyfriend are cousins.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
So, okay. So you saw.
I did see that part. I started literally paused it right when she had turned to her and started to like talk to her.
In her face. Yeah.
So
it ended with the girl. It ended in the next episode begins with that same altercation.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about. Any thoughts on that, Kirsty?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that scene just as a viewer. It was a lot of drama and like Ty was crying and you know, you could tell that Candace didn't really realize what she was doing wrong. And so when Ty got emotional, that's when Candace was like, well, what the fuck did I do? And she's like, okay, let me go change, let me get dressed. Like, and then she came back from getting dressed and like she started cussing at the camera crew because she's thinking like she doesn't really fully understand why Ty is like emotional. So she starts cursing everybody out. And that's when I knew, I'm like, oh, Candace is really LA. Candace is LA. And she popping up at the mouth. She like, you know, she's like, well, get these cameras, like get out of her face, like going ham. And it's just like, wait, baby girl. Like,
First of all, you just a friend of the friend of the show.
You're just a friend of the friend, yeah, and you don't really realize this is not about you or your boyfriend, whatever. And then like Ty was already emotional, so the communication was off. You can tell that like her friend Candace was now trying to fix whatever she did wrong, but she didn't really fully understand like what she did wrong.
Yeah.
And Ty like explaining it to her wasn't clicking for her. And so, like, that just kind of tapered off. You know, she's a crybaby, and it's.
I don't know. That's what I don't agree with. I'm not that emotional. That she is really emotional.
She's very emotional.
I don't think she's sensitive. She's just. Is that sensitive? I guess I don't know.
It's very sensitive. Yeah.
It's a way of expressing yourself. Like it's either cry or go the fuck off. Like I think that's what it is, and I think she's choosing to cry instead of cuss people out because
she gets really emotional.
We see her turn up too. And I'm like, so later on, we see her kind of go off. I'm like, oh, she cries instead when she can't fully.
She like one of those people that when they get mad, they cry. It's like I'm so mad, I'm just
like Candy Bears.
Yes, yes, and Candice Dilla.
No, Candice cries. Candice Dilla cries
because
whatever.
But yeah.
But I like seeing them. Like I like seeing that interaction because it was like you got the different friend groups. You know, one of them is like the cast of a TV show. The other one's like them your real hoe girls, like in real life.
And so that's what I like the most about this episode that they did that because at first I was like, you know, like you don't see that often on these shows. They make it seem like that this is their friend, this is all they hang with. And you know damn well that's their coworkers, their castmates. Who are they hanging with on a regular basis? Let me see who you really hanging with. And it's them girls. It's them.
Well, the guys seem like they really are a friend group, though. The guys, they seem like they actually been friends, but I don't know. How do you? Quick question. That. How do you feel about mixing friends, like personally?
You asking me? I'm gonna say I do it all the damn time.
And how do you take responsibility if they don't get along with each other and then separate them, or do you just let them choose to do that on their own?
I have a plethora of friends, and I love having trips and events, stuff like that. Personally, I feel like when you come to an event or something like that, and you come for somebody else, you come for that person. You know, it's not really about you. And so if I didn't like you, Asia, or whatever, and I came to Kirsty's event, I'm still gonna come. I'm not gonna come with no negative energy. I'm gonna come with my best foot forward, best attitude, and I'm coming to celebrate Kirsty. You know what I'm saying? If something were to happen, this is just speaking for me. That means that you approached me. You did something to me because I'm like I'm not really going, and I'm gonna try my best to, because it's not about that. And I deal with this a lot. Literally every trip, every birthday, everything I have, like there's always some kind of tension. And typically it's never really an issue, but that wasn't always the case. But I just feel like it's nothing wrong with mixing friend circles. If you know your friends and this is a birthday, you know what I'm saying? Unless I like hate you, Asia, like to the point to where like when I see you it's on site, then I see no issue. If it's something that's like I feel me personally that is not, and you can be the judge of what's bad.
Yeah,
what's
bad. You know when you're gonna pop off.
I don't see issue with that. Like we're here for me. We're here for my birthday. And you should, obviously want to come. If somebody has you that uncomfortable, that's crazy. But I feel like no one is ever going to make me uncomfortable in a situation when I'm there for my friend or to support somebody. Support is support. And when you do stuff like that, I feel like a lot of friendships end these days because people don't want to support their friend because somebody is so shady. Like, it's crazy. Right. You saw Amanda. Y'all saw how Amanda was when she was like, I'm her closest friend. I'm like, that kind of energy right there, that's alarming. Because I get we're all possessive of our friends, but the girl was just giving a damn speech. Like, it's not. I didn't know we was auditioning for best friend. And so Amanda is somebody I feel like you'd have to watch out for.
Yeah. I'm glad she was able to express it and not just be a hater. So I do applaud her for at least saying it and like knowing like that's how she felt. But girl,
yeah.
Personally. For me, if it's somebody I know that doesn't know how to act, I won't go because I know somebody that we don't get along. Yeah. And I know that they're going to come at me. I'm just not going to go. I'm going to celebrate you another time. because I want you to have a good time, and I know that I turn up if somebody approaches me like this. So I have mixed feelings about it. But for me and my homegirls, like I expect them to have that same level of respect for me. If you don't like somebody so much, then just don't come. Just don't. But don't expect me to be in here playing mediator with y'all, and don't come gossiping to me about the other person because I don't care. I'm here to turn up and shake my ass.
I don't allow any friend to talk about another friend. Don't do that. Because to me, that's disrespect to me, because it's like you feel that comfortable to where like don't do that to me.
Right.
It makes me come at you because I'm like, no, don't do that. But yeah, I agree. Like as far as the topic of mixing friends, I don't see an issue with it. I see both sides. I do agree. If you have such a strong disdain for a person, then don't come. You know what I'm saying? But personally, if you don't come, I'm gonna be upset. I'm letting you know right now. So you better come. And you better put it to the side, because that's just how I am personally.
That's
you know what I'm
how
saying?
I am. Yeah,
that's just me.
I'm the same way. I feel like everybody's an adult. And I'm like, everybody can hang out, you know, because it's like networking. Like, obviously, we don't know everybody in the world. Like, if I bring all my friend groups together, I expect people to just be adults and be able to know how to conduct themselves. But I am learning, too, that it's like sometimes a little thought does have to go into it. You know, if you know that you have very protective friends and that, you know, that these friends aren't going to mesh well, maybe you shouldn't be planning like a whole group or trip together. That's
you
just
can separate the two, but I will say sometimes it's okay to have a conversation with that one friend that is not even. Let's say there's no beef. Let's say you got a friend that gets drunk and wild, and you know that show go home girl. She get real lit, but she start, you know, she throwing shade, and folks that don't know her don't know her. They perceive it differently. So it's like that's when you talk to that friend. I've had plenty of talks with those type of friends. Like, look, the last time we not having that, and so you had it come to it's folks, you know, we enjoy. Now, if it get there and it happens again, that's when it's like, all right, you only got one time to really act like that on my type of trip, and you will not be invited back. That's not even a lie. That's just me.
What's the max? What's the max per like trip, like people per trip that you would go on or plan? Like,
I plan a trip for 30 people.
Is that your limit, or would you go higher?
Oh my. I don't really have a limit, but I mean, for a trip, like at some point, it gets to be a lot to plan.
30 is a lot.
Yeah, but this was a cabin trip. The most I've done on an actual like traveling trip was 15, and that was to South Africa. So that was a lot of people, a lot of personalities, jazz, a lot of going on. But it was fun. And so I don't see an issue with that. My thing is, if you can't do it, then just say you can't do it.
You can't do it.
I'm gonna be looking at you sideways, because I feel like, especially if it's like because so and so is here or this is here, it's like you're not here for me.
It's not even about that. Yeah,
right.
For me, even if that's the case, I'm like, okay, let's just make sure my room is far away from theirs, and we'll be good to go.
Chad, not you disengaging. I don't want it to happen.
No, I need so I'll speak for myself. I wasn't like, I knew somebody just did not care for me, and I was like, if this girl keep coming in my face, I'm not gonna be able to stay calm. So she get drunk, she get in my face, and I finally went off on her. And everybody was like, "Hey, you shouldn't react like that." I was like, "I told y'all to keep her away from me. Y'all didn't do it." I asked, and I went on another trip. She left me alone the next time. So I was like, I guess I could keep coming, but in that regard, I'm like, we just have to be in some rooms. I can't be near her. And she got into it with other people. So I was like, it's her, not me. See,
that's a lot. Well, that pretty much like concludes that episode for episode 6. You know, we're gonna do episode 7 through 9. Then there's actually a reunion. You saw that the reunion is coming out this week?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that, but I have to clearly watch 7 through 9 because I haven't watched it. And then we'll be back. I think at that point Danny will be here for that. But it'll be done later. So nonetheless, if there's no final thoughts, we're going to lay out. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, and do all things to support the league. And make sure you check out Kirsty's channel again at Point of View TV. Let me put on a screenshot so y'all can have that. You can follow her regular page too. But if you're trying to find some content, you go right here.
Down on the Point of View TV.
Some movies,
Yeah.
Cortez will be on my channel again, and hopefully I'll be invited back to his channel. I love talking.
Well, we're trying to, Insecure's coming back, and that was our show. We may have to go ahead,
we got to do it.
Right. I'm excited. It's the last season, so we got to be talking about Issa and Molly, because I'm still Team Molly. I don't care, but
oh, you are
Boots, Team Molly.
Come on, Boots.
Boots. But with that being said, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for watching these 2 recaps for Sweet Life Los Angeles. We'll be back for 7 through 9 and the finale. And y'all have a good rest of y'all. What's today? Tuesday. Y'all lovely Tuesday.
Thank you.
Good night.
We're gonna leave out.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.